Yeah, I'm Errol Mobutu Reynolds. Near as I recollect, the strongest influence in my life is my grandmother, who after a time having to leave the South with my grandfather, my nearest recollection was I was in a house where my grandmother was the absolute boss and creator. There was my mother, my aunt, my uncle, their kids, three roomers. She had the skin joint and the piano in the foyer, and all the musicians had to come back because we had the only piano. I guess that's how I became a jazz musician. But after a little time in high school playing first year trombone and playing Carnegie Hall at 16, when I graduated, I was good now. When I graduated,
you got fireworks in the background.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm about the food. At the time, the musicians used to come by the house, and my grandmother had the clothes from St. Vincent and everything. We came from a family of hustlers and artists. We didn't know we were artists. We were just making do with what we had. My first paint was a red brick smashed up with water, and I painted with that. And then when I was in high school, I played first chair trombone, and then I thought I knew they was going to give me this horn after I graduated, but they took the horn back. So I had the feeling and the spirit and the wherewithal to go do some things, but I didn't have no instrument. So one day I was coming up the street and lightning struck this tree and broke it into three pieces, and it was all hollow. I said, damn, there was some cats around there at the halfway art gallery making art and doing things like that. So I didn't have no instrument. So I got this tree, and I got me some chisels, a hammer, and 2 screwdrivers, a regular head and a Phillips. My first carpenter tools. I took a shovel, fire, and everything, and hauled that thing out. Father told me at the slaughterhouse to go over there and get some skin. I got some skin and put it on the drum. It wouldn't do it right. It wasn't tanned properly. Finally got me, went out the music room, tack hit that bad boy together, boom, boom, I played, band around town. Next thing I know, I pawned the thing and got me a real drum. I started picking up pieces of iron and copper and stuff. Instead of going to the junkyard, I went down there buying metal, twisting wire and the earrings out of copper wire, brass wire, and everything else. My sister was buying them earrings. Backwards. They were rough. It hurt your ears. That was a black earring. Shit, I got $2 too. So I was like, my sister said, shit, why did somebody pay money for this? So anyway, I made that drum. And that drum, after I traced it, I started going around. A friend of mine came down the house and said, hey man, Grant Green's at the grill and ain't got no percussionist. I said, bring your drum. I went up there and I sat in with Grant Green. Next thing I know, I spent 11 years with him on the road, on the chitlin circuit with Grant Green, George Benson, Archie Shield, Phil Chalmers, Lou Donaldson, McDuff, all the cats. I was right there in the middle of the thing. And next thing I know, I'm in Georgia, down there at the 8th Antilles Trip Piedmont Arts Festival, and ran across a cat named Guy Louise Julie, who was doing the 8th Antilles Trip in Martinique. So I was a guest of Amy Césaire and Romare Bearden. So I'm on the island, and John Ross, myself, Angela Davis, I'm with big boys from around here, and I'm nappy-headed down there cutting them bamboo and making cups and everything else out of it. And Romare told me, he said, man, I said, how do we get this here? And he let me come home with 2 customs with all this extra stuff. Romare, I had a chance to talk with him for 2 months, hang out with him. What a beautiful thing. We hung out up by French Fanon Thompson. Mount Darmont, came back to Georgia, taught K through 5, 6 through 9th, to Atlanta County, Richmond County, and Macon County school boards. Came back to Pittsburgh. I don't know where it went, but I came back in. My mother got sick. I went into the ironworkers and built half this stuff around the ironworkers. So now I'm in the crafts and trades. I'm building bridges, superstructures, busways, subways, and arts everywhere around me. I'm picking up things and doing things. And art just extrudes from it. And one thing led to another. And so I'm saying to myself, geez, so this is what it is. Art, to me, is creating a vehicle in which you can ride in. And that's what I think we're trying to do right here, to create a vehicle in which we can all ride. We can sit down, and it's a vehicle we can all ride, do it like sort of an arc. The Ark of the Covenant of this thing, what we do as artists about documenting our societies and copying down the things and experience and circumstances and situations that existed in our lives that we copy down. I seen a dude's arm one time in New York like this. I seen a piece of wood look like that. I just put a face on it. There he is. You know, so art is in my family where I came from. My grandmother was my greatest inspiration because she made so much out of nothing. We had a pair of skates. We couldn't even have a pair of skates. There was 10 boys, 5 girls, 3 uncles, 4 cousins, and a host of roomers and people who came around just to hang out at my grandmother's house. And as a result of that, as I grew up, all the people I encountered left this much information with me. And that information grew into who I am today as far as my experiences and the things that I've done and the people I've had a chance to rub shoulders with. And like you guys here come through, it's a beautiful thing to know that to realize that you don't realize that your existence came from your humble beginnings and the fact that you didn't have nothing. If you'd had it all, you'd have went and bought art supplies. I never bought no art supplies. Art supplies? What's an art store? I wanted a chisel. You know, I took a bumper off a car spring and cut it in this first way and ground it down, put a hole in it, and then heated up the metal so hot that when I put a stick through it, it would burn in there. And that was my first axe, a vertical axe. The blade this way is this way now. And I tried, and I cut myself, and that's part of learning. You know, you bleed a little bit, you didn't bleed, a piece ain't real, all that kind of thing. But I don't listen to everybody's story. I don't want to take up too much time, but my experiences are very, very vast. I've been around the world a couple of times and experienced to live without electricity, water, had to eat off the land. You don't catch no fish, you don't eat. You don't work, you don't eat. If you don't eat what grandma put on your plate, you will eat it. It might take a week, but she put in the refrigerator just as favorite. Everybody else be having something else that's next for tomorrow. You got yours, baby. I try to give it to the dog. The dog get a whipping too in my house. Yeah, and it's a funny thing to realize things, man. You know that there's always somebody else out there. No matter what you've ever done, who's already did it before. You know, that's like the first time I was coming home from the movie. I'm gonna leave it with this. I'm 4 years old. We're all coming back. My mother, my 3 brothers, and my dad. And we coming home. The show was late. All of a sudden, they said I bust out running. I mean, I hauled. You know, this shit called hauled ass. I was running all down the street, around the corner, and I was running. He said, "What got into that boy?" And they caught me on the porch hiding underneath the glider. I said, "What's wrong with you?" He said, "He was after me." I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "He was." He said, "What are you talking about, grandmother?" "My shadow."
Been running ever since.
Yeah, I've been running right into it ever since. But yeah, art is the only medicine, just like music, it can touch the soul. It can soothe the savage beast, you know. It can make you remember, it can make you forget, it can make you cry, make you laugh. Same thing, make you laugh, make you cry. I see, I'm going to leave it at that, and the next time somebody get in there, I have a hammer, and we construct this ark hoping to float into the promised land.
All right, I say.